When I was growing up, I'll think to myself, what if there are people walking among us who know what life is? They know what is actually going on. They are able to identify one another. So they're able to tell that, oh, this is one of our own. And if you are not one of them, they're able to see that, oh, this one is not one of us. This one is oblivious. Doesn't know what is actually going on. What if there were people who were working among us who knew exactly what is going on, and there were many. They were everywhere. They know how to communicate without us noticing. Some of them are our friends. Some of them are our parents. Some of them are our wives, husbands, teachers, haters, supporters. What if there were people? Let me not say people. What if there were these beings who are controlling everything and who are benefiting from our existence in ways that we don't quite understand, and that's the reason why they don't reveal themselves to us. So they know how to disguise themselves as humans. So when we look at them, we see humans. When they look at one another, they see themselves as they really are. But us, the naive humans, when we look at them, we see other humans. One of the reasons why I will ask myself this question, this is actually the main reason why I would ask myself this question. I realized this when I was very young. I was a very rational person. And I would be surprised how some people will disagree with me when I'm saying something that is obviously true. Something that I know beyond any doubt that, okay, this is true. This is true. And someone will be like, nah, that's not true. And then they'll say things that don't make sense. And I'll be like, is this person just lying me? Is this person just stupid? I mean, that's possible. I was always that kid that everyone disagreed with, but then the things that they disagreed with me on turn out to be true later. I'll be like, what's going on? Like, I can feel it that I'm right. I'm thinking as rationally as possible. Why are these people not able to see that I'm right? So I'll be like, what if they're pretending? What if they know that I'm right? What if they're just trying to make me think like that? I know I know it seemed like I was just paranoid. I think they can call this the Truman effect or something like that. Truman syndrome, yeah. Like that feeling that you are being watched by people who actually know what is going on. You don't know what is going on, but they know, and they are gaslighting you, right? So whenever you ask the right questions, whatever you think rationally, they're there to make you doubt yourself. You know, they'll laugh at you when you say something that actually makes sense. You know, they'll laugh at you, or they'll make you feel like there's something wrong with you, right? That is why you are thinking what you're thinking. So I'll ask myself, why is it that everything that I think is actually true and that other people don't agree with me on turn out to be true, and like it gets to a point where everyone can say that this is true. But you find that when I first realized that it was true, everyone disagreed with me. Why does it feel like everyone around me kind of know what's going on, but they're just gaslighting me? Like it was a weird feeling. I used to ask myself very deep questions about life. I've asked myself about solipsism before I knew what it was. What if I'm the only one here? Or what if I'm the only one here who doesn't know what's going on? Like, I used to ask myself this question. So yeah, sometimes I will study people. Why does this person react this way? Why did this person come to my life? Because sometimes people will just come and go, as if they were sent. Someone just come to your life and be your friend, and then after maybe 3-4 months, they're not your friend anymore. They don't talk to you anymore. You meet them in the street. You guys are strangers. Like, their time in your life is over. Yeah, how did me and this person become friends? I was never the kind of kid that, I don't know, that like needed friends. Like, people would just come to my life and we'll be friends with them, they would leave. And I would pay very close attention to them. Like, okay, why does this person behave this way? Why does this person ask me this kind of questions? Why does this person make me experience this and that? What is going on here? I was like, what if there is a lot going on that we don't even realize, and that we can't realize, because we're never meant to realize what is actually going on. What if these beings were not going through what we go through as humans that are naive? What if they had superpowers? What if there was a place, like when they sleep, they go to this place and that's home? Here, Earth is like a farm. So when they sleep, they go home and interact with one another. But like, yeah, there's this kid, his name is Benedictine. Yeah, that one is I don't know, he asked the right question, he's one of the smart ones. Yeah, we better pay very close attention to him, because yeah, we might figure some things out. There are a lot of these people that we are getting energy from, assuming that they would have kept us here because they want energy from us. A lot of them are naive. A lot of them do not ask questions. They believe whatever we want them to believe. If tomorrow we wanted them to believe that aliens exist, they would believe that. Like, we would actually brainwash them and make them believe that aliens exist. If we wanted them to believe that God is an alien, he comes from Mars, and he created humans, they'll believe that. If we wanted them to believe in the story of the Anunnakis, we'll make them believe that. But maybe let's make them believe in religion, because they don't think, like, they never ask questions. You can literally make them believe anything, bro. Like, when it comes to religion, you can make them believe anything. You can make them believe that there was a guy who walked on water. For what reason? That won't even matter to them, this dude was sent to die for their sins, and if they believe in him, that will work actually, because that's emotional blackmail. Like, some dude died for your sins, so why not believe in him? It means that he loves you. Why would he die for your sins? I mean, look at how they be worshiping the politicians who have died for them. So that's brilliant. So we don't need to change that. That's actually working. Whoever think rationally, we they won't be trusted, and we have to make sure that these people suffer more than everyone. The reason why we must make sure that they suffer more than everyone is so that they will not be mentally stable. Can you imagine if someone like Benedict was, living his best life without any obstacles in his life? Like, imagine how powerful he become. So let's make sure that he has many obstacles in his life, so that he won't seem like a credible source. Like when he's speaking the truth, like people won't believe him because he's been through a lot. He's broken, So let's make sure that he's broken. Let's make sure that he doesn't feel okay most of the time. Let's make sure that we get as much energy as we can get from him. And some of them be like, yeah, why not just kill him? They'll be like, for balance, or isn't that big of a threat? We just need to watch him closely. Maybe they won't allow us to. Maybe we just need to watch them closely. The same way that if you have a farm and there's a cow that's not acting right, you don't kill it. You don't just be like, okay, I'm just gonna kill this cow. No, you just watch it closely. Okay, this bull is not easy to control. This bull will run away. So you just watch it. Make sure that or you try to tame it. You try to say, sometimes like where I live, they'll cut off its paws if they don't want it to reproduce and they feel like they're gonna kill it soon. Stuff like that. Like they will try to sterilize it. So they'll be like, let's make sure that someone like Benedict doesn't have access to this, doesn't have access to that. It doesn't matter if he deserves to have access to these things. Doesn't matter if it's good enough. We're gonna find ways since we control everything. So it's not really going to wake that many people up. I don't know why I never was able to shake off this feeling. I used to think like that when I was a kid, but then the feeling is always in there. Like I wouldn't think about it, but sometimes I'll just be like, yeah, something strange is going on, and that feeling that I'll feel as a kid, will still be present. What if people know what's going on? You go to a mall and you kind of feel like people kind of know you, right? Even when you talk to strangers, it's like there's this, they're giving you this look as if they've seen you before, as if they know something that you don't. It's a weird feeling. I was watching a short horror movie on YouTube. It's called Corporate Monster. It's about this guy who took some drugs that made him see these monsters. So some humans will look like him, like normal humans, and there will be these humans that would look like monsters, and there were many. They went after him after they discovered that, this guy can actually see us. So they went after him, and it was the cops that actually went after him. They tried to shoot him, but they failed, and He managed to get hold of that gun and he killed him. Um, he ended up going back to where he worked. I'm not, where his girlfriend worked, because he wanted her to, eat the pill, and he ended up killing these monsters. He made her eat the pill, and then before the movie ended, she was able to see what he was saying. I thought it was a brilliant short film, just like the movie They Live, where this guy, he would wear these shades, and that would make him see these aliens that were disguising themselves as humans, right? So you'll be able to see, oh, these are humans, these are aliens. It's the kind of movies that if you watch my videos, you should watch them, because I think they're telling us more than what we think they're telling us about what is actually possible in this reality, since none of us know what is going on, right? So anything is possible, no matter how crazy it sounds. Like, anything at this point is possible. What would be the most effective way to get energy from humans than to live among them and not just influence them to think a certain way? Because human beings can be rebellious, but you control them. You see, if you have some superpowers, and the people who are like you are controlling the world, it will be very easy for you to gain power. You would have access to information. Like, it would be much easier for you to succeed. You'd know a lot more about ordinary humans. So you'd know how to manipulate them. You'd know how to get them on your side. You'd know how to get energy from them. That will explain why some people are cold. Some people do things that are so damn horrible that you'll be like, a human did that? Huh? Really? It was a human who did that. And of course, that's what we're all going to believe, that it was a human who did that. But what if that wasn't the case? What if it was these beings who wanted to get energy from us, and they will do something crazy so that they will get energy from us? This handsome guy comes into your life. He's sweet. He's perfect. He has everything going well for him. He's down to earth. Like, he's everything that you could ever wanted. You fall for him deeply. When he knows that you are really into him, then he starts to break your heart. He has sex with your best friends. You find out now your best friends don't love you anymore. Like, he turned your world upside down. He steals your money. You had some money, you were trying to buy something very important to you. Maybe you were trying to buy a house. He steals your money. These things are not supposed to be done by humans. I'm telling you, I know that we suck, but come on. Does it make sense to you? Horrible things happen that make you question everything. This girl comes into your life. She's perfect. Once you're in love with her, she do you dirty. She knows your weaknesses. Literally ruin your life. friend ruins your life, a parent, a stranger. You're having a good time as a woman, some stranger approach you at the bar, you talk, you connect, and they ends up raping you, and that ruins your life. You're traumatized. Now you hate men in general. Every man you see reminds you of what you went through, and you are naive. You don't know what really happened. You don't know that it was all part of the plan. You just look at him just like you look at any other man. I want us to keep an open mind. I'm not saying this is true, but it's important that we keep an open mind in this world, since we don't know what is going on. I mean, if you were in a Truman Show and you were Truman, how would you be able to realize that everyone in your life is acting? Because that's crazy. When you think about it, that is crazy. Like, even thinking it's crazy. Like, you think everyone in your life is actually acting. It's crazy because it seems like everyone is born just like you were born. Everyone doesn't know what's going on, just like you don't know what is going on. So everyone is like you. No one knows what's going on. So how do you even begin to think, hey, this world might not even be real? Everyone might actually be acting. How? I mean, there will be things that will happen that will make you suspicious. But to go that far, that wouldn't be easy for you. Like, actually, everyone in my life is actually acting. Like, it wouldn't be easy for you to go that far. You will see a lot of strange things happening. But they will have an explanation for these strange things. That's what's funny. I remember when a satellite, was it a satellite? I don't really remember if it was a satellite that fell from the sky, and Truman held it, and he was surprised where it came from. And then later, when he was watching TV, he saw on the news that they had an explanation that actually would make sense, right, to him, based on what he knew so far, or based on what he thought he knew so far. So they'll give him an explanation that will confirm what is believable in his reality, right? So he'll just be like, oh yeah, it was this, it was that. We see a lot of strange things happening in the world, and they have explanations. The sky can turn red for like 3 seconds. They'll have an explanation that will actually make sense. People can freeze. You go outside and everyone is standing in one position, they're not moving at all. They'll have an explanation for that will make sense. There was this strange experience that I'll have. I haven't had this experience in a while now, where when I'm about to fall asleep, I'll hear a sound. Like something is falling and will wake me up. Yesterday it did happen, by the way, but I forgot that it happened yesterday. But it had not happened before. It's like it had not happened for months before yesterday. So yesterday it did happen. I think they call it exploding head syndrome. So you're trying to fall asleep, and then you hear like something fell down, like a plate fell down. So you wake up. Or you hear this noise. This is the noise that I heard yesterday, like zzzz, and then I woke up. It's exactly like that, like zzzz, fast, but it's it's like it's here in the ear, zzzz, and then you wake up. You're like, damn, what's going on? They have an explanation for that. Oh, it's exploding head syndrome, blah blah blah. I used to have that experience a lot when I was a kid. Sometimes it wakes you up when you are actually sleeping, you are dreaming, and then you hear this noise, and then you wake up and you're like, okay, what was that? Sometimes you'd hear someone calling your name, right? You find that there's no one who's calling your name. I used to hear my mom's voice a lot, actually. Like my mom is calling my name, like when I'm sleeping, and I'll wake up and go to her and be like, did you call my name? And she'll be like, no, I didn't call your name. And I'll be like, what? But I heard you call my name and I was sleeping. She'll be like, no, I didn't call your name. I'll be like, okay, that's weird. Because I was having a nice dream. I was a millionaire in this dream that I was having. And I was enjoying the dream. So it's actually weird that I woke up. But it's weird that they have an explanation for everything. So it's just like the way that it was in the Truman Show. Like they had an explanation for everything. So wouldn't it be like that? Yeah. Any strange experience that you have, when you search online, there will be an explanation for these things. I remember there's this video that was trending where chickens froze. They have an explanation for that. Like chickens will, and it wasn't just one chicken, right? It was like 3 or 4 chickens. This lady is recording a video, and these chickens stopped moving. They froze in one place. Like stop moving. They wouldn't even, you know what I mean? Like if a chicken decides to stand in one place, at least, because it's usually windy, you must see you must see something. Maybe the feathers will be moving a little, but nah, they just froze in one place, and she's surprised. And then they start moving, and the crazy part is that they all start moving at the same time. So they froze together at the same time and then started moving at the same time. They have an explanation for that. But does that make sense? If you had an experience that was supernatural, the first explanation will be that you have a mental illness. That will be the first explanation. That you have a mental illness. That that's not supposed to be possible. I love when we pretend to know what is going on. Like things that are supernatural cannot happen. If reptilians existed and you saw a reptilian, or I saw a reptilian, I think some of y'all wouldn't believe me. Some of y'all will say I'm crazy. It's not believable. It's not supposed to be believable. You'd rather come up with the most likely explanation, which is that I'm lying, or I'm just crazy. And this is the most likely explanation, right? But I think there's a reason why this reality feels weird. I think there's a reason why some things that happen seem a bit more convenient than they should. Like they seem more convenient than they should. And you'd be like, nah, man. We call these experiences synchronicities. But what if there were no synchronicities? What if there were beings who were trying to make things happen a certain way and they had to make sure that these things happen that way? You break up with someone or someone screws you over and then you find a new person right away. You're like, huh? Right away, like at the right time. Your boyfriend screws up, or before he even screws up, you find the right person today and then he does something crazy. You catch him cheating, or he just does something that turns you off completely. So you're like, oh, that's a sign that I must date the new guy. But why? Why did it happen on the day that, he will do that? Like, why did you meet another guy on a day that he will do that? And you find that even if you don't leave your boyfriend, the other guy is very persistent. Like he seemed perfect. Like he seemed too good to be true. So now you're tempted. Like you're supposed to change your man. You're supposed to change and date another man. You receive some money. You are living in New York. Not in New York. You've always wanted to live in New York. You're living in California. On the day that you receive money, now you can afford to actually pay for rent in New York. Your neighbor gets shot where you were staying, and you like, okay, I gotta move because you gotta move, right? Or something crazy happened so that you don't continue to stay there. So now you just decide, okay, like kind of coincidences. When you go online, as soon as you open your Facebook page, someone has an apartment in New York. It's cheap. They've left their contact number. Like, yeah, it's just a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. One of my favorite scenes in The True Man was when he wanted to leave the town that he was trapped in. And when he would try, like, there would be, because it was being watched, so there would be no cars in the street at all, no car. And then when he would try to drive away, then there would be cars, and he'll be surprised, like, where are these cars actually coming from? Be like, okay, it's fine, I'm still gonna drive. Some cars will move very slowly. They'll be like, why are these cars moving so slowly? They're trying to make sure he doesn't leave. Or they try to make sure that by the time he gets close to where he's going, they would have created a story so that no car is allowed to pass. So when he got there, I remember when he got very close to where he was going, he was told a story. Oh, there was a fire. Yeah, no car is allowed to pass. It's funny. I think he got out of the car and tried to run away. But they made it seem like he's crazy. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you, When he was young, his father died. I mean, that's what he believed, even though it didn't happen. He died in the water. I think they were trying to use a boat. So that happened so that he's afraid of the water. So he was afraid of the water since he was young. So he couldn't use a boat to escape. But I think what made him believe that he was not crazy was this girl named Sophia. She told him everything, and they treated her as if she was a mental patient. But I think she's the one who made him realize that no, something is wrong, and he was in love with her. She didn't like the fact that he didn't know what was going on. Sometimes I do ask the people in my life that, if I was the only one here, and who didn't know what's going on, and you were sent into my life, and it was all for entertainment or for whatever reason, would you tell me? And everyone would say no, it's crazy. I'd be like, but I will tell you, because I believe that you deserve to know the truth. Like, it's not beautiful to be played like this. Can you imagine? Especially considering how much suffering is going on in this room, like it wouldn't be a beautiful thing to be played. A lot of strange things happen to us as humans, and it's said that we don't have explanations for these things. We don't have real satisfying explanations for these things that be happening in our lives. I do believe that the most brilliant way that the archons would actually be able to manipulate us and get energy out of us is if they lived among us. They're not just influencing our thoughts, because human beings can pick, like, we think a lot of thoughts a day. I can think negative thoughts, but if I catch myself thinking negative thoughts, I could start thinking positive thoughts. I can start. I do catch myself sometimes thinking negative thoughts and be like, okay, this is negative. And then I decided I'm going to think positive thoughts, and I think positive thoughts. I could think negative thoughts about myself. I could think, hey, I'm not good enough. Hey, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve the things that I want. Hey, I'm not as smart as I think I am. Hey, I'm paranoid. Hey, I'm just, I'll be thinking all these negative thoughts, and I would not be feeling good, right? But then I catch myself thinking these negative thoughts, and I'll be like, I can also think positive thoughts. No, I am actually smart. I've always been smart. I know that. I mean, I don't even need validation from other people. I know that I'm smart. I know that I'm right. I know that I've been right about things that I thought I was paranoid about before. So, you know what I mean? So I can think positive thoughts, and I start to feel better. So it would be best for the archons to just disguise themselves as humans, and they come into our lives to create chaos, so that we will produce this negative energy that they want, very easily and more effectively, because we will believe that they are humans, right? Make sure that we are traumatized. Make sure that you don't get the job that you wanted. There's a lot of people are working jobs that they hate. That's what sucks. Like, people do want to work, but they want to work the jobs that they like. It's not that people don't hate working. People do want to do things. Some things are fun, right? I'm not talking, because there are some jobs where people are just slaves, period. But there are some jobs where you're like, okay, this is enjoyable. Maybe this person gets to travel, meeting new people. They're not stuck in an office, and they're fun. There are people who actually enjoy their job. We must also acknowledge that we mustn't be like everyone who has a job does not enjoy their job. So some people wake up in the morning and they're excited to go to work, but most people are not excited to go to work. In fact, that they are free to take leave at any time, and they are making hella money. So yeah, there are people who are enjoying their jobs, bro. So yeah, you got invited for a job interview. You get very close to getting the job, but something weird happens so that you produce loosh. You get very close and you become so excited so that you'll be disappointed. This reminds me of a scene from the last Matrix movie, where I keep on forgetting what they call this guy, but he was the one who created the Matrix and trapped Neo and Trinity inside that Matrix. So after Neo, at first Neo didn't know he was in the Matrix, but he kept on having dreams that he believed weren't just dreams. He kept on dreaming about his old life, So the guy worked as his therapist, always trying to come up with explanations that will make sense to him, that will make him not question what was actually going on, make him think that it's crazy, he's traumatized. Hey, this happened to you, that's why you feel this way, that's why you react this way. After I discovered that he was actually living in the matrix, we went to that guy. And that guy told one of his NPCs to shoot his girlfriend Trinity, but then made the bullet move slowly, and also Neo to move slowly. And he explained to Neo that, do you know that hope and despair are nearly identical in code? And he explained to him how it works. That it works like this. You feel like if I could move faster and catch the bullet, I'll be able to, to save Trinity. So that's how we get more energy from you. Like, the more we manipulate you, the more we play with your emotions, the more energy you produce. Like, that's one of my favorite things. I was like, damn, this is true. So they will make you think that you can get the job that you want. When you are very close to getting the job that you want, something crazy happens and you don't get the job, and now you're devastated. You meet the love of your life and it seems like everything is going well, but then when you are really happy, when you really have hope, now you're like, things are going to go well, boom, something crazy happens, and now you're stressed, now you're depressed for 2 years, thinking it was all real, not knowing that it was all planned so that you can produce energy. You're about to receive some money, you're excited. Boom, something crazy happens. You're no longer receiving the money. You produce the energy that they want. I mean, we do eat farm animals. We do manipulate them in many different ways. We don't have the best interest at heart. You're not thinking, hey, I want this pig to have fun. Like, there are very few people who love the animals that they eat. There's this channel on TikTok. This guy have pigs. These pigs, he make them compete, run. Like, it seems like they're having fun, or maybe he just like pigs. I don't know. But a lot of humans who have pigs, they don't treat these pigs very well. Like, it's all they want is for these pigs to be alive. That's it. As long as they are alive, that's good. They don't care if these pigs are exercising, if these pigs are enjoying their lives. These pigs are just given food so that they can survive. The same way that we're being treated where we work. You're just given money so that you come back. That's it. If that the money that you're being given is not enough for you to actually have fun, like, that doesn't matter. You only have money for alcohol. Alcohol isn't that expensive, so you can buy alcohol and forget all your misery. In the morning on Monday, you're still gonna have to go to work so that you can afford alcohol, because you can't afford to do things that are actually meaningful, so that you don't like resort to drinking, right? And I think that's why some people end up resorting to drugs. You find that there isn't that much that is exciting in their lives, and they want to feel excited, so they take the easy way. Like, yeah, this works. But they still have to pay, because nothing should be that easy in this matrix. Can you imagine if there was nutritious food that people could eat and they feel the way that they want to feel when they, like, having fun or feeling good isn't supposed to be easy. Like, there's always a catch in this matrix. Imagine if you were able to produce chemicals in your brains that will make you feel good. We are told that we have DMT, and when we die, our bodies, our brains produce that DMT. And when we're dreaming, also, like, our brain, like, there's more DMT that our brain will be producing. Like, it's always producing DMT. But when we're my G, but I'm still recording. I'm gonna be done in about. I'm still recording. I'm gonna be done in like 20 minutes. Sure. So your body produces like DMT when you're even when you are like conscious, but then when you die, like, your body produces a lot of DMT. So can you imagine if you were able to just produce DMT whenever you wanted to experience, to have these crazy experiences that you'd wanna have, or to make yourself feel the way that you feel when you're drunk? Like, you like this. I just want to produce chemicals that will make me feel the way that I want to feel when I'm drunk, and you produce these chemicals. Like, you knew exactly what you needed to do to produce these chemicals. I mean, that would be dope, but you can't. Like, having fun isn't that easy. Enjoying this isn't that easy. Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you, I just got my new glasses. Very expensive, man. I have a serious eye problem. Tell me what you think, because I was thinking that I chose the wrong frame. I thought I looked weird because I've never had this kind. But the reason why I chose this frame is because the lenses are thick. They were supposed to be thick. That's what the optometrist told me, that, hey man, your prescription is weird, so we need to, you need glasses that are a bit bigger, so that they won't look that weird. But tell me what y'all think, because I still can go and change the frame. Such a weird experience that we're having, man. So you should be able to, think anything, really. Since even the things that we're told are not normal to think, since it doesn't seem like there are people who actually know what is going on. So you can't really say something isn't normal to think if no one knows what is going on. At least if we knew what is going on, it would make sense. And we'll be like, you're crazy for thinking that. That's why even if like a person thinks the earth is flat, I can't really say anything. Like, hey, you've never really seen the shape of the earth yourself. And we know that we've been lied to a lot, that it's not easy to believe anything, really, especially things that we're being told. It's just that to me, the conversation about the shape of the earth does not matter. I'm like, it doesn't matter if the earth is flat, it doesn't matter if it's round. It's most likely that there is no earth. This reminds me of this documentary that Logan Paul made. It's called Flat Earth, From the Edge and Back. So Logan Paul's friend he started to seem so interested in the flat earth theory, and he said that his dad worked at Antarctica, and him and his friends went to where they were told that they shouldn't go, and they discovered that the earth was flat. So they decided to go to the flat earth convention, where they made the flat earth guys believe that they were flat earthers, but in the end they completely trolled they made it because they're famous, right? So of course they took them seriously, that even Logan Paul is a flat earther. Even other YouTubers, actually, at the time he was just a YouTuber, so even other YouTubers were like, no, Logan Paul is one crazy, like, flat earth, blah 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 blah. And then all of that was part of the documentary, and he made sure that he put everything in the documentary. So he completely trolled the flat earth community. But doesn't mean that the earth isn't flat. He made this song in the end called There Is No Earth. Now his friend asked him, so now that it's all done, do you believe that the earth is flat or round? And he said, there is no earth. And then they made a song called There Is No Earth. It's funny. But yeah, I can believe anything since we ain't really being told what the heck is going on. Like nothing was confirmed to be true. You can believe that the moon is a satellite. You can believe that the moon is hollow. You can believe that the sun is not as far as they're saying it is. You can believe that the stars are not really stars, the lights in the sky. Whatever, you can believe whatever you want to believe. You can believe that there is no gravity. You can believe that you're the only one here. Solipsism, my favorite philosophy of all time, right? You can believe that you're the only one here. You can believe that God exists, if you want to believe that. You can believe in the Bible, even though I'll tell you that I don't think that makes sense, but you do have the right to believe whatever you want to believe. I'm here to encourage people to think critically, to ask questions, to not just take things as they appear. Like, question everything, Maybe you will discover what the heck is going on. Thank you all, guys.